In South Korea, over 110,000 tons of clothing are collected annually, making it a top exporter of second-hand clothes. The rise of fast fashion has led to more clothes being worn for just one season before being discarded. Reporter Ahn Yoo-jung investigates what happens to these discarded clothes.
Opening a clothing collection bin in Pyeongchang-dong, Seoul reveals it packed with old clothes. From padded jackets to shoes and blankets, the variety is wide. Some clothes look barely worn, as if discarded after just one summer.
Sometimes even new clothes come in. If they don't match my taste, I just throw them away without even opening the package.
A similar scene is found at a clothing bin in Bwamdong, Seoul. Clothes from 15 bins collected in an hour fill a 1-ton truck. These collected second-hand clothes are then sent to overseas export companies. At a second-hand clothing export center in Gwangju, about 30 tons of discarded clothing arrives each day. Nationwide, over 110,000 tons of clothing were discarded in 2023. That's double the 59,000 tons collected in 2019. The mountains of second-hand clothes are sorted by type and sent to developing countries in Southeast Asia and Africa, with about 95% of the collected clothing being exported.
With this volume, it's impossible to reuse it all domestically. Over 90% is exported.
However, much of the second-hand clothing that is imported by major importing countries is often immediately discarded or buried in the ground. In particular, synthetic fibers, which make up 70% of all clothing, can take up to 200 years to decompose, effectively amounting to an export of waste.
Clothing comes in many materials and types, so it requires separate sorting, but that technology isn't yet widely applied.
With the international community cracking down on waste through reduction and recycling, urgent measures are needed to avoid the stigma of being a waste exporter. This has been Ahn Yoo-jung reporting for MBN News.